Hello and welcome back to another Toronto video. In today's one we're going over the TMNT, the Panini Comics or UK Magazine issue number 3, and this issue we're dealing with Donny sending April some flowers because he didn't get a full message and heard it as if April said, "Oh, I love you." So now we're dealing with a whole story where Donny's trying to stop some flowers going over to April's house. Oh boy, this issue, it feels like it should be a lot more cringy than what it actually is. But surprisingly, this issue, I feel like they've definitely nailed down a lot more of what made this version of Turtles so unique compared to other versions. And I don't mean that like in a bad way, because I feel like there's definitely a lot of good stuff about this one. I mean, I do definitely still feel like with certain characters, such as like Mikey in particular, and also like maybe as well a bit of Raph as well, I'd say. A tad bit of Leo as well, but I feel like Donny's definitely nailed down for the most part. But it feels like they're slowly figuring out like what makes this version of Turtles like this version of Turtles, and I feel like that's really great. But yeah, so this story is called The Need for Speed, and like I already mentioned, Donny, he gets a message from April saying that, you know, like she loves him, and Donny, he thinks like, oh yeah, you know, this is the great thing ever, because, you know, because at this point he was like really trying to get April and all kind of stuff, which, yeah, I mean, I must admit, now knowing everything that happened with the show and all that kind of stuff, where the storyline went, it feels a bit weird seeing the storyline being like so prominent in this story, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, it works well enough. It's just, I don't know, because I'll say that at least for like the past 2 issues, at least I could say that, oh yeah, I have a lot of nostalgic feeling for these issues. But this one, I don't remember this issue all too well, so going into this one, I'm feeling like I can judge it a bit more unbiasedly now. But yeah, so after that, he does get a message from April. As she goes on to say that, you know, I didn't send the full message. What I was actually meant to say was I actually love this album. And Donny's like, oh shit, because he just ordered April some flowers. Which, yeah, I mean, it really does feel in line with this version of the Turtles, and especially Donny. And if anything, I'm quite surprised I didn't try to do something like this before in the actual cartoon itself. And like we do get to see the Turtles, they go out on the patrol buggies, which, I mean, I must admit, I was quite surprised at. I think also even back then when I was reading this as a kid, I was quite surprised at with like how much I was able to like ties into like TV show as well with the vehicles and that kind of stuff. I think the main reason why I was more surprised at that was because at the time I didn't have access to actually watch the TV show where it was coming out, so I was watching it through other means. But I remember like seeing the toys and all that kind of stuff, so I was quite surprised that like, oh my god, they got the toys in it and all that kind of stuff. But well, yeah. And we did get to see the Krang there here, and turns out that they stolen some tech from a really like. Oh god, the company's called Space Tech. You don't get much more obvious than that, and we don't actually find out what this device actually is. But we do get Cereals, they just decide to go after this truck to try and stop it, and this just resulted in some pretty decent stuff. We do get to see like Donny make some interesting faces when he's reacting to Mikey and how he does stuff, and with how like expressive it is with Donny. I'd say that the whole expressions with Donny throughout this issue work really well, and really just feel like he's like fitting more in line with this like show, with how they do like, you know, like very expressive faces when like something big would happen in terms of like an emotion kind of thing. I think like a good example would be, you know, like when the Turtles are shot, they have all the white eyes and jaw open and that kind of stuff, and we don't get to see like examples of that throughout this issue, and just do like how like Donny is just so expressive and just at times so angry, so sad and annoyed, embarrassed. It just, you know, a very good wide range of a variety of expressions, which I absolutely love. And yeah, I mean, with the whole story of the Krang bit, there isn't really too much to it other than just they stolen the device and they're told how to get it back, and then they just crash into a brick wall. That's pretty much it for the Krang side of things. We never really find out what this device was, which I don't think they really thought it too much too far ahead. Which, yeah, I mean, fair enough. This is just a 10-page story and all kind of stuff, so you can't really expect like an amazing story or anything like that. But at the same time, it would have been nice if there was a little bit more to this device, like actually explain the reason why we're going after it. I know that, you know, it's the Krang that stole it, but it doesn't feel like, you know, like basically, oh yeah, you know, like, you know, Krang's story, we need to stop everything we're doing and go after this when we don't really know what was stolen. And Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, it's just that I wish there was a lot more to it other than just, oh, it's just a device, oh well, we got it, oh well, who cares. And after that, we do get to see Donnie, he actually makes it to April's house, but it turns out that the flowers have already arrived, but it don't go to April particularly, because Mikey is dressed up, and he gets the flowers, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I think he's yeah, it works well for the scene. I feel like it really does feel in line with Mikey and all that kind of stuff, and like we have seen this kind of stuff done before. Like I think like the most recent time that, or maybe not the most recent, but like the time that I specifically remember like seeing this kind of thing happening is in like the episode Still Nobody, where Mikey dresses up with Donnie as the old people. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that. I love it, but at the same time, always a bit cringy. But yeah, I'd just say that overall this issue, it's an annoying one because I'd just say that I do definitely enjoy the comics a lot more than the actual TV show itself. There's a lot of stuff which I love about the TV show, but the comics, I definitely feel like it just captures what makes this version tale stand out even more in like every best possible way. And it's seen like a story like this where just get to see Donnie going after April and to make some mistakes and then got Krang and that kind of stuff. It makes all the bad mistakes from the TV show where it was so cringy and just so, I don't want to say instantly, but like it reduces all those kind of like things. It doesn't make it as prominent with all those mistakes. It actually feels like it, you know, it's just like a genuine kind of thing where it's just like Johnny has a crush and oh no, he misheard, so now he's got to make up for it, you know, all that kind of stuff. It works well where they don't have to rely too much on the TV show with how bad mistakes were there, and they're able to do an amazing thing here. And I wish I should remember reading this one a lot more as a kid, but I don't. But I feel like that's also what's helping me now to make it a bit more biased, but or unbiased, I want to say. But yeah, it was a good issue, I want to say, and also the expressions throughout this whole issue. I feel like definitely some of them started off a bit wonky. I want to say with like Mikey with him eating pizza, but then as the issue goes on, with like seeing Donnie getting more expressive with how he dislikes. You know, he's trying to rush things and he's impatient, angry, and all that kind of stuff. It's just so expressive, and I just love that. So many great things about this issue. Just why can't we just emulate all the good stuff from this issue and put it into a TV show? The show would have been so much better if it was more like this issue. But well, it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue. Do you like it? Do you not? And yeah, that's it for today, guys. If you please share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.